It's a numbers game. The fewer strangers you come into contact with, the less time you spend close to them, the fewer people you are face to face with unmasked, the lower that chance of getting infected, and the greater the chance of having a fun and relaxing vacation. With Delta, more recently, we do see more and more younger and younger kids having a hard time, which is different from our original experience with the so-called original or wild type virus. So to me, traveling with kids or anybody, frankly, anybody who's unimmunized, I think that is a risk that a lot of families might reconsider. That sounds to me like a relatively high risk situation. Reducing the risk for the family members, including those kids, that might very well mean making a big change in what we had hoped would be a safe time to travel to a theme park or something like this. The good news is that the US is huge. There's so much wide open space. There's so many things to do that are maybe a little bit unconventional, a little bit different, maybe a little more adventuresome. I think now's a great excuse to take kids on those longer road trips, have them experience what many of us of my age did when we were kids. I think if people are considering traveling either domestically or definitely if considering international travel, be ready for anything. Be flexible. It is possible that public health authorities will change the rules with very short notice, and travelers should be ready for that. I think regardless of your potential travel plans, even later into the fall, into the winter, people should be ready. How do you get ready? Get that shot. If you're on the fence or you're not yet fully immunized, getting your full immunization, not just getting it, but documenting it, getting that vaccine card, please do take a photograph on your mobile phone of that card. That way you've got proof so that no matter where you decide to go, if that's a requirement, you will meet that requirement. I think the biggest concern for these long haul flights, does someone really think that they're able and willing to stay masked up? There are some people who just don't like, well, I don't know anybody who likes wearing a mask, but there's some people who really don't like wearing a mask. And if they say, look, I can barely get through a half hour masked up, how are you going to do that for 10 hours? It may not be a realistic expectation. And in that circumstance, I would advise them to reschedule. We have to add into the mix the immunization question. I would strongly encourage everybody to say, one of the terms of getting together will be that everyone's immunized. It's pretty simple. This is a free, safe, highly effective immunization, and there might be some families that are partially immunized, partially not. What a great reason to get immunized. Meet your new grandkid. Get together with this person who we haven't seen in more than a year, but do it safely and do it through vaccination. I would strongly, strongly encourage that.